Hey there, CGMS students. Welcome to Notes 2.4. We are subtracting rational numbers. So how does it work? So subtraction is the same as adding the opposite. Now that may seem a little bit confusing, so let's just go ahead and prove it to you. Let's take the subtraction problem 5 minus 3. 5 minus 3, we all know, is equal to 2, right? Let's take the addition problem, 5 plus negative 3. 5 plus negative 3, well, we know that's a different signs subtract more, right? If I move right 5 and then back 3, I have more positives, so it is also 2. So look at this. Subtraction is the same thing as adding the opposite. Notice what happens to the subtraction. I just change it to a plus sign, and I change my number, which was positive, to the opposite, negative. And look, it becomes the same exact problem. So subtraction is the same as adding the opposite. Just remember, keep, which means you keep the first number exactly the same. Don't change it at all. Then we have change, as in change subtraction sign to addition. And lastly, change. So keep change, and you're going to say change the second integer to the opposite sign. So if it was positive, you change it to negative. If it was negative, you change it to positive. All right, so keep, change is what we're going to remember. So let's practice this, all right? So number 1, I have 8 minus 9. So it's always helpful to write keep, change above it. That's exactly what I'm going to do, KCC above that. So I keep 8 the same. I change the subtraction to addition, and then I have to remember to change the 9 to a negative, at the opposite. If it was positive 9, now it's negative 9. So it becomes 8 plus negative 9, right? And we know now we just apply our rules. It's either SSAK or DSSM. Well, these are different signs. Because they are different signs, it's a DSSM. So different signs subtract, keep the sign that you have more of. So 9 minus 8 is 1. I have more negatives. So therefore, my answer is going to be negative 1. All right? Let's try number 2. We have negative 8 minus 9. Again, keep, change, right? It's going to be super tempting to change that negative right there to a positive. No, you leave this first number alone, right? You keep it exactly how it is. Keep it, right? Then we go ahead and change the minus sign always to a addition sign. And then again, the 9, it was a positive 9, so now it becomes a negative 9. So it becomes negative 8 plus negative 9. And this is an SSAK, same signs, add, keep, right? They are both negative, so they're the same sign. So I add them up, 8 plus 9, that's 17, and keep the sign. So negative 17 is my answer. Let's do another one. 8 minus negative 9. Again, always write KCC above a problem. Keep the 8, change the minus sign to an addition sign, and now do the opposite of negative 9. So change the negative 9 to a positive 9. So that looks kind of weird, right? It looks like 8 plus 9, right? You can just write that down as 8 plus 9, right? 8 plus a positive 9 is just 8 plus 9. If I wanted to label that, that's an SSAK. They're both positive, same signs add, keep. So just what's 8 plus 9? It's 17. 17 is your answer there. And one more, all right? So we have negative 8 minus a negative 9. So keep, change. Again, super tempting to change that first negative, but again, you just keep it. That first number, you just keep it the same. So the minus sign becomes an addition sign. The negative becomes a positive. So this becomes negative 8 plus 9, positive 9, right? And this is a different signs subtract more, because again, I have a negative, I have a positive, so different signs, subtract them. 9 minus 8 gives me 1, and I have more this time. I have more positives, so my answer is actually going to be positive 1. Remember last time it was negative 1. When I did 8 plus negative 9, had more negatives. That's why it was negative 1. All right? So you can only use KCC, keep, change, for subtraction problems. If you see a plus sign, get that out of your head. You only get to use DSSM or SSAK. So only KCC if you see a subtraction sign. So I'm going to try and allow you to do 5 through 8 on your own. Remember, again, all you're doing is over every problem, K, C, C, and then writing, oh, negative 12, that became plus negative 3. And then you're going to also write, okay, what type of addition problem this is now? It's SSAK. You only have 2 options, right? DSSM, different sign, subtract more, or SSAK, same signs, add, keep. And because this is an SSAK, I just add them up and keep the sign. So that becomes negative 15. So there, I did one more for you. All right, go to the back side. So we've got some word problems here. It said, read each problem carefully. It says, you have negative 124 in your checking account. Uh-oh, you're in debt, right? And then you write a check for $75. Ugh, why would you do that, right? Writing a check, that means you're losing more money, right? You don't have any money to lose. So how much money do you have in your checking account now, right? So this is negative 124, and then you're going to lose another $75, right? So this is a subtraction problem, right? So I need to KCC this. Keep this the same. Don't do anything to that negative there. Change this to an addition problem and change that to negative. The other thing I see a lot of students do that's incorrect is oftentimes they just change the subtraction to an addition and they don't change the next number to a negative or to a positive. So make sure that you're changing not only the subtraction to addition, but then also the next number to its opposite. So you are allowed to use a calculator here. Remember, the negative sign is located right next to the inner sign. So negative 124 plus a negative 75 equals negative 199. I also want you to check, just on your calculator, put in negative 124 minus, and then put the negative sign 75, right? So this is a minus sign, this is a negative sign. Watch what you get, negative 124 minus a negative 75. And look, it gives you, hold on, it gives you negative 49 because I messed up, right? So it should just be negative 124 minus 75. So negative 124 minus 75, and look, it gives you the same exact thing of negative 199, right? So, all right, let's do 2. An airplane is flying 2,200 feet in the air. In the air, right, that's positive. That's, you're above ground, so that's 2,250 feet in the air. And a submarine is submerged. Submerged means you're below sea level. Submerged 1,300 feet below sea level. What is the difference in elevation? So we want to, not only do we want to subtract, because it said, what is the difference, right? We want to remember that we are subtracting a negative number here of 1,300 feet, right? We're doing that because it's almost like you have, if you wanted to draw out this picture, you've got the airplane up here. Here's my poor attempt at an airplane. It's not half bad. It's above ground, right, at 2,250 feet. But then you've got the submarine below ground. There's a bad submarine, right? Below ground at negative 1,300 feet. So just to get back to ground, you got to get 1,300 feet. And then you got to go up another 2,250 feet. So look, when we do KCC to this problem, KCC, we keep this. We change this to an addition problem and change this to the opposite of negative, which is positive. So this becomes 2,250 plus, in fact, let's write that out, 2,250 plus 1,300, right? Plus, just put 1 plus, right? So again, you get to use your calculator here, and the difference in elevation should be 550 feet, all right? So pretty big difference, and it makes sense because this one's all the way up in the air and this one's down below sea level. All right, so you've got about 4 more word problems here that I'm going to let you again do individually. So you've got 3 problems on the front, 4 problems on the back that you should be doing individually before you move on to the homework video and before you move on to ST Math levels. That's it.